Today, we're tackling a source that really digs into a Netflix show that seems to be everywhere right now, The Residents.
That's right. It's definitely generating buzz.
So our goal here is, based on this review, to figure out what this show's really about, maybe why it's hitting a nerve, and pull out the key things you'd want to know if you're thinking about watching it.
Exactly. We want to unpack the mystery, the style, what makes it stand out according to this particular take.
Okay, so let's start with the basics, the premise.
Right. So the setting is the White House, and it's during a big state dinner. Everything looks super polished on the surface. Underneath all that, behind the scenes, there's actually chaos unfolding.
Okay, intrigue building already.
And then you get the main event, the chief usher, found dead during the dinner.
Whoa, okay, hang on. The chief usher. That sounds important. The review highlights.
It really does. And yeah, it's crucial. The chief usher isn't like just a random staffer. This is the person who essentially runs the White House internally.
Manages the staff, the day-to-day operation.
Exactly. They're the operational core, keeping that whole massive place functioning. So for that person to turn up dead, especially then, it sends shockwaves. It suggests something's deeply wrong.
And the review is clear. This isn't straightforward, right? The central question is, what?
The big one, was it murder or was it suicide? That's the core mystery driving the plot.
So that ambiguity is key from the start.
Absolutely. Nobody knows. And figuring that out is the whole point of the investigation the show follows.
Speaking of the investigation, a specific kind of investigator gets called in.
Yeah, describes him as a badass detective, also super sharp and no nonsense.
So probably someone who cuts through the political niceties.
That's the vibe, yeah. Like an outsider perspective coming into this very closed, formal world. Maybe someone who isn't easily intimidated.
Okay, now here's something the review really emphasizes, and it sounds potentially tricky. The structure. It uses 3 timelines.
3 distinct ones. You've got the present day, which seems to involve court questioning or something similar.
Okay.
Then there's the actual investigation timeline following that detective we mentioned.
Right.
And finally, there's the past, showing everything leading up to that state dinner.
That sounds like a lot to juggle. Or is it confusing?
Surprisingly, instead of being messy, it actually really helps you understand the characters better.
How so?
Well, think about it. In a mystery, especially with lots of potential suspects, seeing them before the event, during the investigation, and then dealing with the fallout, it gives you a much fuller picture of who they are, their motives, maybe secrets.
Like different angles on the same puzzle pieces.
Exactly. The review suggests it's handled well, making the characters more layered, not just confusing the viewer.
Interesting. And speaking of surprises, it's another element, comedy, in a White House murder mystery.
Yeah, that's a key point it makes. It's not all doom and gloom, apparently. The show has this significant comedic side.
But not like goofy comedy.
No, it's described as subtle, dry humor. Characters saying funny things, even in tense moments. It keeps it from getting too heavy, keeps it entertaining.
So smart humor mixed in with the serious stakes.
Right. Finding the absurdity in the situation, perhaps.
So given this blend, the mystery, the setting, the timelines, the humor who does the review, suggests this show is actually for.
It points towards anyone who likes a good, well-written mystery, basically, especially if you enjoy clever dialogue. So maybe not quite as intense on the political thriller front, more focused on the mystery and characters.
Seems that way. More entertainment, less existential dread, perhaps.
Like the performances.
The acting top tier, and makes a point that every character gets their moment. No one feels like just background filler.
That's pretty important for a mystery, isn't it? Anyone could do key.
Absolutely. And it says this strong ensemble really helps sell the twists. The show apparently keeps you guessing, flips expectations when you think you've got it figured out.
Makes sense. Good actors can really make you believe anything about a character.
Well, because it gives you concrete details, right? It's not just saying it's good. It tells you how it's structured, what kind of humor to expect, the quality of the acting. It helps you calibrate your expectations. Like if you hate nonlinear timelines, maybe this isn't for you, even if you like mysteries.
Exactly. Or if you want a purely serious drama, knowing about the comedy element is useful up front. If that mix of White House intrigue, multi-timeline storytelling, dry wit, and strong ensemble acting sounds good,